my drillers, it's your geezer Big Donny Cow here for a brand new video going in to Path of Exile 2 into the new Dawn of the Hunt League. I have actually been requested this one after a few of my shorts, and I'm surprised I've been requested to do a video on one of my builds. Normally I just do them because I want to, but here we are. So, my build, as you can see here, is Impending Doom. We're playing the LICH Ascendancy. We pretty much go around absolutely blasting things. When we get to res, we're gonna like drop our totem down, dots with ED Contagion, and then spam curses, blow them all up, get some easy wins. I mean, sometimes even it is just a simple case of spam the curse to get quite a few res down. But yeah, no, for like getting bosses down at least, I would be always using the additional stuff. But yeah, it does some pretty nice damage. It's quite fun to play. It looks visually pretty stunning in my opinion. The fact that you're pretty much burning down the entire world, exploding all of your enemies in pure chaos. I just love it. I just love it. And then of course you've got that beautiful rot and dot slow decay feeling of your extra damaging skills. So, let's get a bit technical now. And as any good Brit should, getting my daily dose of tea in. So, let's get started. I think first off, let's look at our skills. So, what's our main skill? We have Despair. So, fun fact about Despair. You're going to be juicing a level 9 gem. That's right. Do not level it up to really high levels unless you have a lot of mana regen, because it's a very mana consumptive spell, and the only benefit you get from higher levels is the curse radius. It's a smaller curse at lower levels, but that doesn't matter. You still saw there that I cover plenty of ground. Would it be nicer to have larger radius? Sure. But, you know, it's not the be-all end-all. The build can still run without having, like, a screen ride Despair. So, yeah. I'm just playing it optimal while I'm in the current stage of play. Maybe a bit later we can add to it. Supporting that, we have Dark Effigy. Under Dark Effigy, Acceleration and Venom, Comorbidity, Big Poisons. Adding extra sockets, probably get Wither, Revering Touch on that as well. Oh, I forgot to say the supports of Despair. My bad. So, first support you want is Impending Doom and Cursed Ground. You want these two first. Why? Because you can't trigger the Impending Doom by spamming the curse if you don't use Cursed Ground. Just doesn't work. I tried, I was disappointed, and then I got Cursed Ground going, and all of a sudden, yeah, the damage went up as it should. Next, we're doing Decaying Hex. It's extra chaos damage scaling on other modifiers we're already ramping up, being intelligence, so it's a no-brainer to just add this for free damage. On top of that, I'd recommend first doing Spell Cascade. This just gives you more area to work with, though you could also opt to have your 4th gem maybe as Burning Inscription, especially if you get something like Corpse Weight Boots. Why? Well, Corpse Weight Boots, they're going to explode corpses into gas clouds. These gas clouds, when ignited, will explode for extra damage. So it's up to you if you want the bigger area of Spell Cascade and the auto trigger that the secondary Curse Grounds do, or if you want to just prioritize getting the extra burning damage going out there. Both are pretty decent options. Continuing on supporting our damage, Essence Drain is very good, just big meaty single target damage, and then of course Contagion. You always link these two together. So on the Essence Drain we have Chaos Mastery, as you know, ramping up our Chaos skill gem level is great for Essence Drain damage. We have Intense Agony, is just more damage over time. Yeah, it's more damage over time. Simple as. Do I have to say more? And Considered Casting, I have just because more damage. I don't care about the cast speed, but damage I do care about. I must admit though, with both Contagion and Essence Drain, I kind of flung those together as I was way more focused on getting my Despair big. So perhaps one of you in the comment section who is less of an amateur than I am will probably notice there's something better to run. And by all means, please feel free to share it. Let's get everyone juiced, you know? Contagion, we're running Magnified Effect, Unleash, and Chaotic Freeze. Chaotic Freeze is actually amazing. This just allows us to have a CC in our toolkit. So, I'd highly recommend running Chaotic Freeze. It makes a lot of fights a lot safer. Pretty much adds another defensive layer to the build. As for other spells, like Decompose, I've just got a load of random support gems. I'm not even going to recommend what I've got. Like, I don't even know if half of these even work on Decompose. I used Profane Ritual when I didn't have Corpse Raid. Frostbolt, irrelevant. Ignore it. Now, let's go to our Spirit Gems. I'm just going to hide my webcam so you can actually see them. Convalescence is great for energy shield recharge. I run Ingenuity and Persistence. That way, you know, lower cooldown, buff lasts longer, more energy shield returned. Withering Presence as well. It's just free chaos damage. Can slap on stuff like extra mana regen, spell damage or energy shield is full, and then I might also throw on like Vitality or Life Bloom or something like that, which helps with survivability a bit more. When I next can be bothered. Okay, that's it for spell skill gems. Next, we're going to go and look into gear. So, there's no real mandatory uniques, I would say, there are in the build. Like, Corpse Raid's very nice, but you definitely don't have to run it. But yeah, in its current stage, you can definitely run with, like, all yellows. Personally, what I feel are the best upgrades. Chaos spell skill gems. Getting that up is going to make your bossing a lot faster. It will increase the mana cost of your Despair, of course. So you got to be a little careful for if you really want this. If you're going full ham only on Impending Doom, then maybe you actually skip this. But as it stands, this does make taking down bosses with your other 3 skills very, very clean. Spell damage and chaos damage are of course also amazing to scale. I'd highly recommend doing so. Then yeah, pretty much your rings as well. You'd want the increased chaos damage as I've got on this ruby ring here, not as I've got on the amethyst ring. This is kind of a bit of a budget ring, but it's pretty decent to be fair, just not optimized really. After that, of course, you want to cap your resistances. I'm not quite capped on chaos yet, but I'm also not really ripping too hard. Chances are, eventually I'll be swapping Corpse Raid out for some boots with some chaos resistance on, and then that's going to even everything out quite nicely. Then you're going to want some mana, life, mana regen, intelligence, and energy shield. That's it. I knew I'm missing something. But yeah. So why is those stats big? Well, as I mentioned earlier, we've got plenty of things scaling off of intelligence to deal damage, like the Decaying Hex as an example. We also have Impending Doom, which scales off of 25% of your current mana to deal damage, and Burning Inscription, which scales off of your maximum mana to deal damage. Intelligence adds mana. Mana regen keeps you at higher mana for more Impending Doom damage. Life also increases your mana regen. So most of the time, actually, life is a better stat to go for mana regen. Even though sometimes it's not like the most mana regen, you're getting 2 things for the price of 1. You're getting more life for survivability and more mana regen for damage. So absolutely huge stat to go for. Now I know what you're thinking. Cal, what are you on about? Life giving me mana. That's where the next stage of his guide comes into as we look into our Ascendancies and skill points. So let's start off with Soulless Form. Now excuse the fact I only have 2 Ascendancies. I hate Trial of Hammers and I hate Trial of Chaos. So yeah, I'm a slacker. What can I say? roll with it. I'll tell you good options in a minute. So this is giving us crazy good mana regen, making this build so much more playable. Solar's Form, I'd say, is a must-have. Okay, potentially you could get away without it, but like, why not? Why would you not take this? It's insane. Then Rupture the Soul, amazing for clear. Just having enemies explode for a quarter of their health, 1 in 3 chance, beautiful. So yeah, we're running those. What are our next options? Let me talk you through it. Now, additional curse with Dominion over Flesh. This doesn't really help at all. Like, sure, maybe hexproof enemies being cursed is a good thing, but like, you know, we already have our supporting damage, which can, you know, it does a lot of damage in its own right. It's just slower than spamming Despair, but it will still kill things. So we don't need this. This is useless to us. Crystalline Phylactery. This could be good. This could be good. The only scary thing is the higher mana cost with no energy shield. So yeah, I'd say this is definitely one which is better the higher budget you are. You get more good jewels. The better jewel you put in, the better things are going to go for you, of course. Price of Power could be interesting. More often than not, though, I don't think you're going to see much value from this, as this would be something I'd consider running for a boss, but of course a boss doesn't really summon any... Well, most bosses don't summon enemies that will give you a corpse to use Profane Ritual on to get your power charge with. So unless there's another way of getting power charges, which I'm overlooking, I don't see the use of Price of Power. Our clear is already insane enough. Eternal Life, great nodes. If you're feeling squishy, then perhaps maybe go for Eternal Life. Necromantic Conduit, this is what I personally want to go into next. You just need to make sure your mana regen is high enough, and then you got Unholy Might. What's Unholy Might? It's giving you extra damage, I think 30% or 25%, something like that. Actually, I can check here. Extra damage as chaos damage on top of everything you already do. And of course, we're scaling chaos damage in our tree, as you'll see soon, and on our gear. So that extra damage is going to go hard. Then, on top of that, Blackened Heart is just increasing the magnitude of Unholy Might buff per mana you already have. You're already stacking mana, so why not? So, yeah. The only downside to this is you're losing a lot of mana per second. If I look here, say I've got about 2,000 mana, that's about 100 mana lost per second. My Despair, it costs 270 mana. So let's say I'm a cast times like 0.44. So that's gonna be like what? 640 mana per second. Currently my mana recovery is 381, so I'd have to ramp that up. But, you know, worth it. Absolutely worth it. Getting that extra chaos damage, gonna be absolutely beautiful. So for the skill tree, we've picked up some energy shield nodes, increasing our intelligence, mana regen, just general spell damage, increasing chaos damage, getting some global defense, you know. There's some pretty good energy shield nodes. We wouldn't want to go for this one as we don't want to reduce our mana. Going for the increased area of effective curses, so we don't feel so bad about not having high level on our Despair. You could also spec into this area of effect node, but you could lose some damage from it, so it's not a preferable thing in the world. Got extra spell damage here. Not sure if that still needs to be strength. No, it doesn't. I can change that back to intelligence. I've only just realized I had that though. Should have kept an eye on that. So we got the extra chaos skill level, and we're going up here anyway because increased damage per maximum mana. We're stacking mana. And we'll take this big intelligence node to stack more mana. Bigger energy shield. We're recharging mainly with convalescence anyway, so don't care about the slower recharge. Or slower start even. Extra damage as well is amazing. I haven't looked too much into volatility, so I'm not sure how good this could be for us. These extra curse nodes, like, We don't need them. We don't need them at all. Stuff like Event Horizon Spaghettification. I would advise this on... Oh, yeah. If you get Eldritch Empowerment, then I'd say go for Event Horizon. If not, don't do it, maybe. But even then, it might still be good now, because my mind's still thinking of Grim Feast mechanics. So perhaps now just roll Event Horizon and chill. We're also going this way. Void, beautiful, big chaos damage, big energy shield stuff here. Damage taken by passing energy shield isn't too bad. Just keep an eye on it. Make sure to use flask when needed. My plan now is to sort of path down this way and get this node for more area damage and area of effect. But also, if I'm struggling for mana, I can just decide to double back, grab some stuff up here, probably these three. That's Arcane Surge. What am I thinking of? Ah, yeah, and then also just path all the way down here. Of course, I'm like level 78 now, so that'd be like 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. Yeah. Getting this node would be pretty chill for us. And then like, yeah, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. 95 is not an unreasonable level. So yeah, there's definitely some solid nodes we still got to path to and look forward to as we level up further. But yeah, aside from that, our dual sockets, ideal one is something like this. We have more spell damage and chaos damage, a bit of cast speed, and freeze build up. Having maybe mana regen instead of the cast speed would be a bit more optimal. However, this is still crazy good. And then here, this is not so good of a duel, but as you can see, mana regen can be that important where it just feels like it's worth me running it. Anyway, guys, that is going to be the end of today's video. If you have any questions whatsoever, please let me know. I will be carrying on with this build pretty much until Last Epoch drops. So if you want a final update before we move on to Last Epoch, please let me know. But for now, this is Impending Doom Lich. I hope you guys enjoy it, and perhaps maybe you know, do some great things with it. I'm sure there's plenty of you watching this video who are probably more skilled than me as well and can take this build far further than I can. So I'm very interested to hear what you guys can do. Please consider that I'm also not the most amazing PoE 2 player, okay? Or just PoE player in general. I don't have the hours that many of you other content creators have that you're probably more used to watching for guides. But I do like to home cook stuff, and so I wanted to share this with you guys. See if you get a build you enjoy playing, or even just decide to say, hey, this guy tried it, let me see what I can do but better. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Sweet.